children today, not my wives.
Qué bueno verlos a todos.
How great to see you all here.
Remember, if you're here in English, there is a button globe right here in the corner on your right hand side where you could pick the English language and somebody will be translating for you so you could hear everything we're going to say. Bueno, chicos.
Okay, guys. So let's start. Let me start recording. Okay, so let's start with our testimonials. Who wants a testimonial? Please lift your hand up. Raise that hand. You want to share your testimony, not literally, but with the emoji on the screen, please, so I can see it. I need to clarify because, you never know. Anybody has a testimonial that they'd like to share? Nobody has a good testimonial to share with us tonight? Connie, you? Let's go. Are you muted? Okay, perfect. How are you doing? I'm doing great, thank God. So my testimonial is very important because here my husband and I ordered the product for our own self-benefit. We never thought of the benefit of blessing others or in working as a business with it. We just closed our business because we didn't want anything to do with businesses anymore. We had a handyman business previously, but due to reasons that we all know, we had to close the business because the taxes are very high. So we said, okay, no more. And suddenly this crossed my life because I had Rachel on my social media and she's always motivating me. And in a post that about the patches, that is where God came up to me and said, this is it. And so I started checking what it was about. And first I started investigating on my own, doing research and introducing myself. We ordered the patches, the core. And when they arrived, my husband said, no, no. And I said, you're going to put it on. And I patched them and I patched myself. My husband had diabetes. And I'm going to say this here in front of everybody. Since he's been using the patches for 2 weeks, his numbers are completely leveled when he had been for years with his diabetes going up and down and up and down. The soles of his feet, he couldn't stand them anymore. Lack of energy, everything changed. Now, I don't even have to remind him in the morning to put on the patch. Him by himself, he gets up and that's the first thing he does. He patches himself and then he asks me if I already ordered the next sleeves. I have the automatic shipment on, by the way. And I'm 55 years old and I'm going through women issues like Rochelle. I had been battling for 3 weeks with these issues, and after the third day of using the patch, nothing and nobody can stop me. I get out of bed at 6 a.m. I start doing exercise the whole day. I started working about with the business. I got my batteries on, and I'm not good in social media, but I have a lot of contacts on my phone, WhatsApp, Messenger, and all that is more private. So every day I'm sending like 20 videos. The one from yesterday's training, I reproduced it like 25 times today. And I'm already receiving questions and so on. We don't need social media. We can do it internally with our own phone. That's the only thing we have to do. Right now, I'm seeing that I'm receiving calls, I'm receiving text messages. They're asking me about it. It's a slow process. We can't become desperate. But after 1 or 2 months, I am declaring by my faith that I am going to have the manager rank. So thank you so much. You are definitely going to have it. And first of all, just like you're doing it without social media, okay? Remember, Mike works this without social media. And so if he can do it, so can you. And one of the things that we are telling people when they listen to this, we tell them, look, remember this. And this is something that makes us constantly. I brought this to you because you're going to listen about this opportunity again. But it was me who brought it to you. And after you saw what my wife shared on Monday and what is coming up, what this man is going to launch to the market, God willing, very soon. This is going to take our company to a super, super high position. Everybody's going to recognize it. Amen. People are going to listen to this. So I always say, remember where you heard about this first, because you're going to come back asking about it. Remember that. Another thing, I go to a church where there are all kinds of people of all ages. It's called the Nations Church, and there's people from all part of the world. And normally people that go to church are people who feel ill in every way, physically, mentally, emotionally. So my calling, first of all, giving glory to God, but God sometimes gives us physical situations so we can heal. So what I'm saying is I'm sending information to my people from my church, information and information. Blessed Rochelle and Carlos that are swamping us with resources and material so we can use and send and leverage. And with the help of God, the business is going to give its fruit. Amen. That is for sure. And also for you. Thank you, Connie. Thank you so much. Lots of blessings, blessings to you, your family, and let's go. Amen. Thank you. Janetsi? Oh, how weird is it for you to want to speak, right? Hi, you made me laugh with your comments. Well, here I am, like every day, with all of you, walking the path to, no, driving the path to Cayus with a terrible traffic. Now, my testimonial of this week is from my dog Hunter. It's too bad that he can't speak. When we finished the training that we had on Monday, I felt that he was crying, and he normally doesn't cry unless something happens to him. And when I feel that he is crying, I thought that it was strange. So I opened the door so he could enter the garage. And when I saw him, the whole area of his anus was full of blood. And when I washed him and I saw what happened to him, his anus was completely swollen. And one of the glands that the dogs have in their anus had burst because it hadn't drained appropriately. That's what the vet explained to me. Those glands get swollen and then they burst. And many times themselves with their mouths, since they don't feel very comfortable there, they can they can injure themselves. So I decided to stay calm because when you see a little dog in this pain, you start instant panic. So what I did was immediately I went for the Ice Wave and X39 patches. I patched him with the X39. That was at, like at 9 p.m. I put the X39 patch on his collar and the Ice Wave patch and the inside of his legs, which is where he has less hair. He's a Siberian Husky, so really there's not a place in his body without hair. The tongue was the only place that I thought, but I found the inside in the inner part of his legs that there was a part without hair, and I put the Ice Wave, and then immediately he stopped crying after 10 seconds. He stopped crying. He just laid on the floor. He was calm, and I could see how his body relaxed, how immediately he felt that better because he wasn't in pain. I left him the whole night with a LifeWave and X39, and after that relief, I took him to the vet the next day very early in the morning, and now I'm just giving him antibiotics so he doesn't have an infection doesn't get an infection. But I continue with the patches, that combination for pain and for healing of the wound. And the next day in the morning, without having gone to the vet ourselves, I already shared with you in the chat how unswollen that area was and how closed the wound was that used to be open because of that gland that got swollen. So this is something amazing, having an immediate solution in your hands when you don't have fast access to an emergency center or to a hospital, so you can feel better while you coordinate planning to go to receive medical assistance. This is a social responsibility. That's the only thing I can say. It's something that we must do. It's the only thing I can say. We have to share it. We have to talk to everybody, and we have to let everybody know about the benefits that we are experimenting. Okay, so we continue with our pets. Even our pets are benefiting from the testimonials. Just like Janetsi said, thank God that we have this great opportunity. iPhone Jenny. Okay, please go ahead. You can unmute. Hi, Carlos. How are you? Hi, everybody. Well, I'm not sure if this is normal. I was the worst in the previous meetings who asked, do you have testimonials of neuropathic injury? And I remember that in the last meeting you answered, yes, 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 there is one. But I come from Spain, from Madrid. I had a surgery in my cervical area. I have prosthesis, and the surgery didn't happen so well. So I ended up having chronic insomnia, injury in my hands, and I've been taking medication for 4 years because of my neuropathic injury. And with the whole change in medical system here in Miami and medical protocol has been a bit complex, understanding that each country has their own laws. I had a great medication because I was also allergic. I am also allergic to a lot of things. And I was like, what am I going to do now? And in a process of a 6-day fasting, I asked God to show me something because I was so tired of all this process of medication and medication and medication, intoxication and allergies and praying. I've been following Rachel since a long time ago. And I saw Rachel's testimony of the patches. And oh, surprise, surprise, an amazing friend of mine, Andreina, she lives here. I saw her testimony of the patches and I asked her, and she said, Jenny, come to my house and try it. It's not what I say to you. It's what you feel when you try it. So I got to her house yesterday morning. I was completely destroyed from the pain, from not being able to sleep, completely going wild and desperate. She patched me, and after 3 hours, less than 3 hours, I was saying, wow, the inflammation from my hands reduced. I have an energy that I remember when Rochelle was talking about the energy that she felt at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, and I thought, oh my God, what is this? And of course, Andreina starts saying to me, hey, so how are you going? How are you doing? We started drinking water, and for me, it was an amazing surprise. And immediately I said, hey, I need to get into this. This comes from God. This comes from the Lord. That's how I saw it. That's how I felt it. And today I can say I've been for 2 days. I bought my sleeves. It's my second day with my sleeves. And last night I wasn't able to sleep for 8 hours, but I was able to sleep for 5 hours in a row. That for me, that is a great success. And I just couldn't believe it. I said, if this is how I feel only after 2 days, this means that my body is receiving that information and is reacting to it. So I am super happy with this. That story that you just spoke about, and this is what I say to everybody here, we say to ourselves too. we are hurting the person that we don't share this with. Yes, totally. That is totally true. Something for you, you said 5 hours to sleep, 5 hours. A person that doesn't have that problem must be like, what, 5 hours is nothing. But for you, 5 hours is something that you haven't done in so many years. Yes, in 5 years. That is an amazing success. And now with the more time that it works in your body, I don't know if you saw this. I think you're going to see it at the beginning of year that there's going to be a supplement coming out now that takes X39 to the next level. It's going to be like X39 steroids. It's going to take it to a higher level because he designed it that way with more things that reactivate the stem cells. So imagine when we start seeing people taking this, and it is something amazing. I took it the other day and it tastes amazing. It's something that you want to continue tasting. It tastes fruity or something. It's delicious. And we know that more and more people are going to want to take it because the moment you take it, you see results. So imagine what is coming up. And wow, that's so beautiful then. Yes, people in Spain, they wouldn't stop. My cell phone wouldn't stop ringing and ringing. But what are you doing? What's going on? Because of course, the people who know me and who know about my case, they know everything that I've been taking, everything that I've been doing. I was about to go to a second surgery. And I was saying, no, I can't take this anymore. My body doesn't tolerate morphine anymore. It doesn't tolerate a lot of things. And I was desperate. I didn't know what to do. And for everybody, I'm like, look, this is real. And I upload it in my social media. I mean, I'm living it. It's real. And that I'm, it's not a placebo effect, you know, because well, I was just talking with Angelina about whatever, we were sitting down having a conversation, and suddenly I looked at my hands and I was like, oh my God, they're not swollen. They're not swollen anymore. And I'm just living it. I'm just sharing what I'm living, and it's real. Yes, you are living it, Jen. And we want to do something very important there in Spain and in Europe. We want to go over there. So the moment that we have a good team there in Spain, we're going to fly over there and we're going to organize a massive event. Yes, and we are going to do it because I'm moving everybody from Madrid. I have Venezuela and I have Madrid. I have both of them. So if this worked with me, and look, I have all my medical proof. I have everything that can prove medically what I have. And later we can see, I will take my like primary care physician later, do my blood work. I want to see the results after this. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much for sharing this. Thank you. Kaida, let me unmute you, please. Okay, you can unmute. Okay. Good evening from here from Los Angeles, California. I would like to share with you that months ago, or actually weeks ago, I shared in the testimonial channel that I also heard about the patch because I've heard about it since a while ago. And I heard that it helps with menopause. And I heard also Rachel talking about the energy it gave her. And what called my attention most more than any other thing is the benefits that it cost. So I have to say that after 2020, my husband suffered from an anxiety attack because of the pandemic. We had just had our baby in 2020, and the baby was like 3 months old, more or less, when our husband got sick, and in the hospital they said that he had COVID. So since my husband got very nervous, he had an anxiety attack. So when I heard that Rochelle said that she was being able to rest better and she had a lot of energy, that called my attention because my husband had been for months without being able to sleep. It was something really extreme in our house. A lot of things happened. And thinking about my husband, I said, what if I buy it and let's see what it's about? There's nothing to lose just by using it. So I told my husband, and when I asked Rochelle, she sent me the information, and I saw that it was also a business And since in that moment I was pregnant in 2024, I was pregnant again. I told my husband, look, there are these patches, and Rochelle says that they do this, and that, and the energy, and that you can sleep better. What do you think if we try them to see what happens? So he said, sure. And I told him, it's also a business, what do you think? So I already saw myself earning $25,000 a week. And he said, okay, well, buy them. And and I said, which pack? And he said, well, the biggest pack. Come on, purchase. So we got into it, and I was feeling so anxious for them to arrive. I had to wait for a week and a half, and when at last they arrived, I patched my husband, and I took like a week more. I was thinking, should I wear it? Should I not wear it? Because I thought I read that it wasn't proven on pregnant people. So I decided to put it on. I think I was 34 weeks pregnant when I started to use it. I used it, and for the first week, I started feeling like irritated first. And after that irritation, I started feeling a lot of energy. I would go upstairs, downstairs. We have a WIC store, or the WIC program, that gives services for women. So in the store, there's a lot of work that we have to do. And I was at 100%. I have three other kids. With this baby, now four. So now my oldest son is 10 years old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and the baby who is turning 1 month old today. So I was super exhausted, frustrated with all the hormone changes from the baby. It was something that when I patched myself after a week being patched, I started feeling much better. I started feeling I could was more rested, even though I had to wake up a lot during the night, but I started feeling rested. I started feeling my body was rested. So for me, the patch was energy, a change in my skin because I had a lot of dryness in my skin and I felt it much more hydrated. My mood, especially my mood, I saw things with more enthusiasm and I would wake up more energetic and more encouraged. And I felt that I wasn't swollen anymore. Uh, After the 34 weeks, which are the last weeks when you start getting swollen. And when the day of giving birth came, which was September 24th, I was at home at around 2:25 p.m. and I told my husband, "Come on, let's go to the hospital." We got to the hospital at 3:05 and at 4:40 p.m. I gave birth. It was something super fast, obviously painful, and the nurses would say, "We cannot believe it," because thank God I'm not very scandalous. So they were like, we can't believe that you make it feel so easy. And believe me, I did feel the pain, but it was much, much easier. Believe me what I say, it was much easier to be able to have my baby. I wanted to give this testimonial because I am a person that used the patch when I was pregnant and I still have it on. I am breastfeeding. My baby was born great. She's very healthy. Now I'm at the hospital, but because with the change in climate, she got a bit of a cold, and I brought her to the hospital. And they left her here a few days. Now she's been like now she has a month of life, and I wanted to share this. I don't know if there's more women like me that use the patch when they were pregnant. Now, after a month, I don't have bleeding. It's very light now. I don't feel bleeding or in pain anymore. I feel perfectly fine. I feel great, enthusiastic, full of energy. And right now, it's just my baby, but I know that it doesn't have anything to do with the patch. I know it's just the climate changes, and I wanted to share it with you. And about my husband, he sleeps much better. He measures his sleep with an app on his phone, and his levels are super high. His levels of rest during the sleep. So I wanted to share this. There are more testimonials, but I don't want to take more time. Thank you. Thank you. I am so happy that we have another pregnant woman who used the patches. So now we have more testimonies about using them in pregnancy. Thank you very much, Gita. Let's go with Rocio Gonzalez. Let's admit me unmute you, please. Okay, you have to unmute. There you go. Okay, ready? Hi, good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here with all of you. Now I have my star testimonial, Estrella, and I'm going to let her to speak out of her own voice. Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Elena Duran. I had they were going to replace my left hip 4 years ago. I was fighting with a really intense pain. The doctor in Colombia didn't send me to operation. He preferred to send me to therapies. I came to Los Angeles to live. I started with medical with Los Angeles. They started with therapies, filtration. They said they were going to do a surgery. And meanwhile, I was learning to live with that pain, a daily pain. I was limping. When I had to sit down or stand up, it was terrible. I couldn't walk. So then I came here to Florida to live here. And when I was here, I got a terrible pain on my knee. My knee got really swollen. And we went to a meeting, and my cousin Rocio had been invited 2 days before to your meeting. And she said, well, I'm going to take those patches with me. And I had told her that I couldn't sleep. I felt that my leg was going to burst in the inside. I would put a band, I would, sorry, I would put a band around it, and then I would take it off. Didn't know what to do. And then she came back from that meeting and she put 3 patches on me. Three. And suddenly I told her, Rosie, I don't feel any pain at all. This was magic in my life. And then she gave me another 3 and she explained it better. She said, put one a day, put it on for 12 hours, take it off for 12 hours, good hydration, sleep. And August 20th, when she received her first patches, she came to visit me and she said, here you go. And she gave it to me as a gift. And those patches were a blessing. The pain went away. I knew I had to have a surgery because the bone was touching the other bone. But the pain that I was feeling, I felt that I didn't have anything on my hip. I used to take gabapentin, sorry, of 25 milligrams to sleep. I didn't take it anymore. This was something magical for me. And every day I feel better and better. I hadn't been able to work again. And 15 days before my surgery, I worked the 15 days. And my daughter was looking at me and she was like, Mom, how are you doing that? And I was like, the patches, the patches. They were a blessing for me. My hands used to become numb. I'm also going to have a surgery on both carpal tunnels on both hands. And now I just feel a tiny little bit numbness on this thumb. And the after my surgery, the doctor was terrified on how I was going to recover. But it's been 15 days and this has been magic in my life. I super recommend it. I recommend it to everybody. Look at how I stand up. It's amazing. I'm walking with a cane, and sometimes when I get out of the bathroom, I forget that I had my cane. I just go out there walking. It's crazy that you said that because here from the school, man also had a surgery. Obviously, I already patched him, but after the surgery, he wasn't able to walk for months. Well, I can go up and downstairs without a cane, and we're on a second floor. The physical therapist is terrified. He's like, and Rocio spoke to him about the patches. But if you look at how amazingly I can stand up, I can walk. I'm not using a cane. Look at this. And it's just been 15 days since my surgery. Amen. That is so marvelous. It's amazing. What a beautiful testimony. Thank you very much for sharing that with us because obviously we forget the blessing that we have to offer and being able to offer this to others. This is a great blessing. So, okay, let's see one more testimonial. Coralis Torres. Let me find you so I can pin you. And after this, we will go to Q&A, okay? Here we go. All right. There. You can unmute. Hey, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Rochelle. And the whole team of Be the Light. Blessings. I'm cooking, but I'm actively listening. Look, on Sunday, I have two daughters that play volleyball. And on Sunday, unfortunately, my youngest daughter injured herself. My youngest daughter injured herself. But I thank God so much that in my hands I had patches. So immediately, first we prayed to God and we asked Him to take care of the situation. And look at how she had her leg. I'm going to show you how she had her leg. Look at what a difference from one day to another. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it too well. No, because of the blurred background that you have, that's why we can't see it. Let me take that off. Sorry. Sorry. Let me unmute you again. Wait a second. This was yesterday. Yesterday, her leg was like this. I patched her, and today we went to the doctor and look at how her leg looks. So the bruise completely disappeared. Can you see it? Wow. I needed that in my life when I was playing sports. Yes, my husband played basketball. He also needed it. He played basketball for many years. But look, the doctor asked us to take her to have an MRI. I had never ordered the ion patches, but today I ordered the ion patches and another one that I have in my notes written down so we can start the next treatment with the X39. So that's my testimonial. Thank you. Excellent. Wow. How beautiful it is to be able to hear to all these testimonials of all those people who are here sharing with us. And obviously, guys, remember that we are constantly showing testimonials and sharing testimonials in the group of testimonials on Telegram. All the testimonials are there. And remember that every day we are trying to send a WhatsApp. I know that many people are like, oh, whose is this? It's ours. If we're sending you the links to remind you. See how we're having more and more people in our calls. Yesterday we had 200 and something people, 140 when we were having 60 and 70 before. You're also talking to everybody from your team, and WhatsApp is organizing all of us. We're trying to reach everyone so we can all be united and we can all access the trainings. All right. Who has a question, please? If you're going to ask a question, I want you to raise your hand just like Carolina Martinez has her hand raised and an emoji that you can find on the bottom of the screen. Ask me your questions quickly, please, so I can answer and we can move on to other questions so other people can ask their questions and answer your concerns or doubts. Carolina? Well, this is not a question. This is something amazing that happened today. Many years ago, I was going through a pre-diabetic condition. Even though I eat healthy, but I've always been big, but I would eat healthy. And I was like, why am I with this condition? And I had blood work done. My family doctor asked me to do blood work, and I've been using the patch for a month already. And for my surprise, today I'm not a pre-diabetic anymore. Amen. And I said, so many years trying to eat healthy, not being able to get out of the pre-diabetic range. And when I received my results today, the numbers had decreased considerably. I'm not a pre-diabetic anymore. So the funny thing about all this is that in the moment that she gives me those numbers, I don't remember that I have the patches on, that it's the patches that is doing that function in me. But when I get home, I was like, oh, why didn't I remember at the moment of receiving my results that the reason is because I'm using the patches because I could have even told the doctor about that, you know? But truthfully, it is a miracle. It's something marvelous. Yes, exactly. When you go to the doctor, you can say, yeah, this is what helped me with my situation. And you possibly have another client there. That is amazing, Carolina. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Congratulations. I see the excitement in your face, and we're also excited for you because you don't have to have that worry anymore. Thank you so much for sharing. So, guys, if you have questions and you want to write them in the chat or raise your hand, please do so. So we can start replying. We have 20 minutes to be able to answer your questions. There are a few people here that keep on asking which patch, which of the patches, what patch. Guys, we live and we die for the X39 patch. X39. If I can say something to you, is forget about the other patches. It is X39. This is what does everything. This is what does everything. Why? Because this is the only thing that reactivates the stem cells. The other patches didn't bring the company to be almost $1 billion company. It's this X39. When you are talking to people, remind them X39. Don't mention the other patches. Don't mention Ice Wave or SP6. You're going to learn that later when you start the business. But this is the product. This is the product that is going to give us the testimonials. This is the product that is going to have the results. This is the product that we want to use and talk about constantly. All right, Scarlett, let's do this fast, please, so we can reach the majority. Okay, my question is basically, can you hear me? Yes, perfectly. It's not a testimonial. Well, yeah, it is a testimonial. My mom is a 93-year-old woman and she is in pain all over her body. I patched her and my mom's health has improved tremendously. She wouldn't be able to sleep. Now she can sleep much better. And my question basically is when you find someone and you talk about the patch, and I talk about the patch, I talk about X39. And I would like to know more or less what is it exactly that I need to, or to have an idea of what I need to say, because maybe I feel that I talk too much. And I talk about the patent, and I say that it doesn't have any chemicals. And could you give me an idea more or less of what I can talk about more specifically to be able to have more leads? Yes, absolutely. And I don't know how long you have been, Scarlett, doing this, but we used to have the call that we had on Tuesdays, 2 months. Okay, for 2 months. So there are different classes that we are going to organize also for Mondays because on Tuesday we want to direct you to the compensation plan. But it is very important how you talk about this product, okay? If you come to talk about the product saying, hey, I have a patch that activates stem cells, you might possibly have a chance of calling someone's attention, but truthfully, people want to find a benefit for a problem that they have. So just like you said, Scarlett, talk on time. Maybe you talk too much. If you think that you're talking too much, you are definitely talking too much. Why? Because let me tell you this, because when we talk about something like this, you have to talk 20% and the other person is the one that has to be talking. But how is that person going to talk? We are going to be asking that person questions. We're going to be asking questions. Scarlett, have you heard about what stem cells are? Yes. Do you know what they do? Can you explain what the stem cells do? and there are questions that I hope most of you don't go asking questions that close with a yes or a no, but with open-ended questions. When you ask the person, they're going to start responding and replying if they're in pain, if the economy is not doing well, if they need money. But if they don't talk and don't know what problem to solve them, possibly you're going to talk about health, but my health is doing great. I don't care about my health, but I do care about generating income. But you're talking about health, so you're not going to capture my attention. But if now you ask me certain questions and how to talk, and this is something very easy that you can practice. You practice it with your husband, your wife, your children. When you ask another question and then another question. And you're going to see it, and you're going to see that people are going to open up and start talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And you take that information, obviously, in your head, in your mind, and you can serve them and say, oh, okay, I know how to access this conversation with them. And when you ask, oh, so what are you working on now? Oh, I'm searching for work right now, but things aren't going too well. Oh, and why are you not finding employment? No, because I have issues with the boss and I wanting to change, and I'm asking open-ended questions. And if you had another opportunity of work, you would, if the opportunity were excellent or good, if you had an opportunity to get out of where you are, would you be open to listen to that? Yes, of course. That way you know how to access the next questions because they are going to give you the leads and the information of how to do it. Thank you, Scarlett. Let's go with Connie. Okay, you can unmute. Okay, ready. Hi, I have two questions. If there is a testimony of andropause and patients, post-cancer patients that are not in radio or chemotherapy anymore, they have hormone treatment, which is hormone inhibition. It's not radio or chemo. Do the patches activate or balance our hormones? What happens in that case? Because I have three. Okay, when we talk about what is the max that we've been told is that when they stop being actively in chemotherapy, then we can start using it. Okay, because the hormone inhibition is not the same. This is for patients with prostate, for patients with breast cancer, uterus cancer. They have hormone inhibition, so the hormones don't wake up the cancer again. I can tell you that until now, I hadn't heard anything of the sort. What most that we've heard from the company is that chemo and radiotherapy. And andropause and testimonials, which is the menopause in men. Well, this has worked a lot with women. This is something that is the same for women and men. I want you to understand this. You might ask a lot of questions, say, no, for menopause, for menopause, for menopause. The truth is that X39 is amazing, but all of us, including myself, because of things that I've done when I was younger, we have to go and get checked in a doctor because there are hormones that you possibly need to take because the lack of hormones in your body, the X39, can help you to restore certain things. But I can't say, oh, no, you don't have any symptoms of menopause anymore. And also not for men either, because there is something missing in your body. So I'm going to share that in the group of men. When we talk about testosterone and estrogen, there has to be things the body cannot live without the hormones. And there is a study that I imagine is going to be the same for women. But urologists have a study that showed that the lack of testosterone in the man's body causes cancer. So what causes cancer? That I imagine it would be the same thing for women because it's something that the body needs to be able to work. Now, obviously, taking the correct medications plus the X39 plus other things that we can take, like the correct vitamins, and we're also going to announce something amazing in the next weeks, which is something that everybody's going to want to be part of this. All the other agencies, all the other companies, and it's about health. Okay. So we're going to launch something amazing very soon. We can't advertise it yet, but it is going to be something where we are going to touch absolutely everything. So this is going to be something that is going to change. Well, first of all, it's going to change the life of millions of people. It's going to change the community, indirect sales. We're going to organize a group that people are going to want to be part of the community because what we're going to create is something incredibly big. Okay, one of the questions that we have, Connie, sorry, did I answer your question? Yes, you have the testimonials there. There they are. There should be, there are also testimonials for men, but we will search for them there. They are in the chat of the testimonials. Thank you, Connie. So somebody wrote here, what is the best way of asking for more patches? So the maintenance kit, which is the one that we are trying to order, the maintenance kit is an investment, a costly investment. I don't remember if it's $700 or $800. I don't remember. If anybody remembers, please can you put it in the chat? And they'll send you a lot of sleeves, and that includes the auto shipment during 6 months. The more patches you have, the more patches you can give out. If you're taking the business seriously, that is how we do it. And obviously, not everybody can pay $700 for more patches and things like that. But your auto shipment, that is where the patches come for your personal use. But as I was saying, the X39, the X39 is what works. The others work fine when X39 is working. Another thing, water. Drinking water. If you have somebody who is not seeing results, there's a high chance that it has one of these three things. Number one, there's not enough water in their body. What do cells need to be activated? What do they need? Water. If you don't have water in your body, they're not working correctly, the stem cells of your body. Two, you're probably very low in magnesium or potassium. Why? Because when your body is in a better shape and better health, if you're taking vitamins, obviously everything is going to happen much better. Imagine a car that has everything really dirty in the inside. The car doesn't work well, but if it's clean, everything is going to flow better. So if somebody doesn't see results, drink water, drink water. And more than that, why do you think we need to drink water? Why do you think we get thirsty? Because your body is asking you for water. So listen to your body. The more hydration you have, the better the X39 is going to work in all the patches in your body. So, okay. The 19 who are speaking, that was when you were enrolling. I think it's like 7 patches or 9 patches when you do work with the maintenance kit. It's not 20. I'm not 100% sure. It's those numbers more or less. What other questions? We have 5 minutes left. Maybe you can use this with people with dental implants. Yes, of course. Of course it can be used. No problem at all. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, the last question. Carol, go ahead. Hi, Carlos. How are you? Can you all hear me? Yes? Okay, I have a question. They have been asking me, people have been asking me about the documents of the patent. And the patent said that the trials was done with people from 40 years and above. And I'm trying to offer this to younger people. What advice could you give me so I can offer this to younger than people who are younger than 40 and that truly don't have a health issue? And I try to use the financial part, but they're also interested in trying it. So the question is, how do they know that it is truly going to give them results because they're younger? Okay, so the patent, I have never mentioned the patent, not one saying that it was done with studies from 40 years and above. I never mentioned that. I'm not saying that you're doing it, but I never mentioned that. That's number one. Number two, yes, younger people like in their 20s because they are so healthy and so on, and their minds are in something else. They possibly don't see or don't pay attention to this. But we knew a couple whose kids are 18 and 19 years old, and they are both SPD. And who are they selling it to? You know, they're not selling it to other children. They went to other people that are a bit more older, more adult. So again, it depends on the person. It's a numbers game, right? So that's why you never know who is going to end up in your organization. That's why you talk to everybody. Because my son is 26 years old and he's already had a knee surgery, a shoulder surgery. When we patched him, the pain went away. And he's 26, right? So it really depends on who, if he's a child that is constantly partying and drinking alcohol and things like that. Yeah, this kid probably won't see anything interested. His mind is in something else. We don't know. So that's why we need to talk and talk and talk and talk. It's a numbers game. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Do you know if it helps people with spina bifida? This helps everybody. This helps absolutely everybody with any conditions. I can't say that it goes directly to that because we don't know what the body's going to do. What we have to understand is that cell stems are asleep in your body, right? So then they wake up and it's like, okay, where do I go? And they are searching to see where they need to go first to cure. So maybe they're going to the heart, maybe they're going to the back, maybe they're going to the brain. We don't know where they're going to go with different people. They do different things. So where are they going? I don't know because now stem cells are the only stem cells in the body that can go to organs and restore organs and cure. They are the only cells. 7 sleeves and 6 months of auto shipment, $749. That's a maintenance kit. 7 sleeves with for $749. Okay, thank you very much for being here. Remember, we have the trip to Mexico to start to qualify. Also, the tickets, many people already bought the tickets for the conference of next year. Oh, but there's a year missing. There's a year left. Okay, this was the biggest one, but next year we're going to a stadium. We want to go there with more than 500 people. We're going to the greatest community in Anaheim. I'm going to tell you, we're going to get there and they're going to be, they are crazy. What is happening? We're going to have a section which will be completely full of us. You don't want to miss out on this. One of the things that we saw is that these trainings, oh, and we also have, before I forget this, remember, whoever reaches director or up onward, we have the event in Miami, which is going to be in a mansion, white party. It is going to be a super, super special event for all of you, and it is going to be for the director rank onward. So from now until December 31st, you can qualify. When are they going to open the other countries? I don't know yet. Next Monday, we are going to have one of the corporate people. He is in charge of all sales of Florida and the east of the country. He's there with the owner. Day after day, he's going to be in the call next Monday. So we are going to have a person with the owner next to him every day. Super good person. We met him in the event. He gave my wife the number, and Jay, we spoke to him today. He is willing to answer anything so you can see the contact directly from the corporate offices. So we're going to spend some time with him next Monday. Guys, girls, God bless you all, and we will see you tomorrow. God willing. Bye.